Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm George Saris.
And I'm Alex Strofe.
What time is it, Alex?
It's news time, baby!
That's right. This week in SPTV News, a best-selling author comes to the area, a Jane Austen play performs at Point, and the Nevada caucus.
All of this and a whole lot more when we return.
Following the recent issues with the Boat Diving Center, SGA will be holding an open forum for students to express thoughts, concerns, and solutions. The forum will take place Monday the 24th in the Laird Room at 7 p.m. This is a chance for students to voice any problems they have with the boat, as well as ways they would like to see it improve. Al Thompson, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, will be a featured speaker at the event, along with SGA representatives Colin McNamara and Raven Knipple. For more information on the forum, contact the SGA office.
Monday was Admitted Students Day here on campus, where incoming freshmen are given a tour of the university and all it has to offer. SPTV's Austin Lepak has more.
Monday marked the first in a series of 3 different Admitted Students Days, where incoming freshmen have the opportunity to learn all about what the university can offer them. The event was hosted by the Office of Admissions and Recruitment, and their Assistant Director Rachel Siebers explains how more work than ever went into getting new students to visit.
We've all rolled up our sleeves, put in the work and extra effort to make additional contact with these students, to make sure that they feel valued here at the institution. And so by sending additional emails, letters from the mayors, text messages, as well as social media campaigns, we've engaged with these students more than we ever have before.
And those efforts have paid off. According to the Office of Admissions and Recruitment, this year will see the largest number of incoming students visiting campus to date, with 271 visiting students signed up for Monday alone. Students in attendance of the celebration day had the opportunity to have special sample classes with professors, as well as check out the various different services and organizations on campus. And even if an incoming student is unable to attend one of these events, Siebers insists they still try and visit even on their own, because it has its own merits, as opposed to traveling with a group.
If they come independently, they can get more of that authentic visit experience, see our current students interacting independently. But this event was really structured and guided so that they could get all their questions answered at one place. The whole campus opened up their doors and arms to help students get that holistic visit experience.
And it is through this holistic visiting experience that UWSP intends to welcome incoming freshmen and introduce them to their new home.
We are really excited to welcome additional Pointers into that Pointer family and really foster an environment that feels like home.
For SPTV, this has been Austin Lepak.
To find out the next Admitted Students Day, visit the Office of Admissions in the Student Services Building.
Samples from the state's finest producers of wine, cheese, beer, meats, and more at the annual Taste of Wisconsin at UW Stevens Point. Participants' companies include Stevens Point Brewery, Sunset Point Winery, Main Grain Bakery, Mullins Cheese, and many more. This unique event is happening February 28th from 7 to 10 p.m. in the Basement Brewhouse in the DUC, and only open to ages 21 and older. Tickets are $27 for the public and $22 for students with their UWSP ID. An increase is $5 if you buy at the door. Limited tickets are available and can be bought at the DUC Information and Tickets Office desk.
This Saturday is Super Saturday for drag racing in Merrill, Wisconsin. Just an hour outside of Point, Merrill will be hosting one of their annual ice drag races. There are multiple races held throughout January and February with a championship game to determine the best ice drag racer. These races hold a few records, such as the fastest ice auto race for an 1/8 mile, and one driver achieved a world record when their car reached a speed of over 141 miles per hour in under 700 feet. That sounds safe for ice conditions. The racing starts this Saturday at noon. The races are held on the ice near the Alexander Flowage. More information can be found on the Merrill Ice Drag Race website or on their Facebook page.
I don't know what I want to do more, drink beer or go to drag races.
Yeah, right? We've got options today.
February gets an extra day since it's a leap year, and the Museum of Natural History is here to help you celebrate. On February 29th, the museum is holding Leap into Leap Day at Albertson Hall. The event starts at 10 a.m. and the museum has set up activities and demonstrations, including one with live frogs from the Herpetology Society for all ages. There will also be a lecture in the planetarium explaining the science and creation of the leap year at 11. All activities are free and open to the public. More on the event can be found on the museum page on the UWSP website.
The Humane Society of Portage County needs the community help and support. The Humane Society depends on to strive for their mission of providing food, comfort, and medical help for hundreds of companion animals in their care. This nonprofit is looking for more donations this month. Telephone and Data System, a television internet company, is hosting a food drive and registration match to benefit the HSPC. Some of the wish lists for the HSPC includes dry food for kittens, dry food for cats, canned dog food, and more. For a full list, go to the Humane Society of Portage County website. Starting February 24th until the 29th, anyone can drop off donations Monday through Friday from 9 a to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a to 5 p.m. at the TDS retail location on Church Street. TDS and the City of Stevens Point have been in partnership since January 2019.
Bethany McLean, a New York Times bestselling author and journalist at Vanity Fair, and CNBC will be coming to UW Stevens Point on March 3rd to give the inaugural Business and Society lecture. McLean will present on why business goes bad, her experience from 20 years covering frauds, scams, and other disasters. She's credited with exploring the Enron scandal and covered stories on Wells Fargo, Fannie Mae, Valiant, and the energy revolution. The lecture will take place on March 3rd at 5:30 in the DUC Theater. The event is free and open to the public. Seating is on a first-come, first-served basis and is limited. It is recommended to register online for a guaranteed seat at UWSP's website and search business. This event is sponsored by the UWSP School of Business and part of the Smiley Professional Events Series, which students attend a variety of career-related presentations and workshops throughout the year.
I know we're entertaining, but that's all the news stories we have for you tonight.
Coming up next, we have Michael Wengen with SPTV Sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Warzala, the 7th largest book printer in North America, is hiring students for the semester. We are 100% employee-owned and located right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All shifts currently hiring, with jobs starting at $10.80 an hour. Hours are flexible. For more information, contact the Warzala HR department.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in animals or just looking for a way to help preserve wildlife? Then the Wildlife Society might be just for you. As one of the largest organizations at UWSP, you will have your chance to help in projects that study and preserve animals, network with professionals, and meet like-minded people. Join us Tuesdays at 5 p.m. and join the Wildlife Society today.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Michael Wengen with SPTV Sports. The 11th ranked UWSP men's hockey team closed out their regular season this past weekend as they beat Northern College 5-1 on Friday night and shut out the Lumberjacks 5-0 on Saturday to complete the sweep. UWSP finished the regular season on a 13-game unbeaten streak, having not lost a game since December 7th. With the Pointers win and UW Eau Claire loss to River Falls on Saturday night, the Pointers split the regular season conference title with the Blue Golds and clinched the #1 seed for the WIAC tournament for the 4th year in a row. The Pointers will host the semifinal round against either UW Stout or River Falls on February 28th and 29th. The UWSP women's basketball team played their home finale on Wednesday night, and boy, was it a thrilling one. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. In the second quarter, Taylor Greenheck steals the ball away from UW Stout and heads back the other way, looking to make it a layup, and she's good. Makes it a close game for the Pointers. Next possession, Kellen Schmidt says, "I'll have what she's having," and goes back the other way herself. Takes it inside, puts the layup, and also good. To the fourth quarter we go. Shannon Watkins buries a three for UW Stout. That ties the game up with 30 seconds left. One last gas, though, for the Blue Devils as they try to work things up on the inside. Amber Layback tries to put it in. No, it's no good. We're going to overtime here in Stevens Point. 18 seconds to go in overtime. The Blue Devils trying to work something on the outside. Laybeck once again trying to go outside. Christopherson then to Laybeck, drills the dagger, gives the Blue Devils a 1-point lead. UW Stevens Point had one last opportunity to make something happen, but unfortunately couldn't put the pieces together, and they fall 72-71 in their home finale on the season. With the loss, the Pointers remain in the 7th seed in the WIAC. On Saturday, they will play UW Platteville, and the winner will be the 6th and final seed in the WIAC tournament. The UWSP men's basketball team overcame a 19-point deficit to beat UW Stout 70-67 on the road Wednesday night. The Pointers found themselves trailing most of the game, but would go on a 34-12 run in the last 12 minutes of the second half to beat the Blue Devils. Brandon Spray led the team in scoring with 19 points, while Ethan Bulwitz had 16 on the night. Blair Kirky picked up his 5th double-double of the season with 14 points and 13 rebounds. The Pointers have clinched the 5 seed for the WIAC tournament and will play either UW Eau Claire or La Crosse in the first round next week. UWSP will close out the regular season this weekend, hosting top-seeded UW Platteville on Saturday night. The UWSP softball team got their season underway this past weekend as they won 3 out of 4 games in the Superior Dome up in northern Michigan. On Saturday, the Pointers won both of their opening day games, shutting out Finlandia 6-0 in Game 1 and beating UW Superior 7-5 in Game 2. Senior Ashley Cohen picked up the win in Game 1 and earned the save against the Yellow Jackets in Game 2. On Sunday, the Pointers lost in extra innings to Concordia University, Wisconsin in Game 1, but shut out Northland College 10-0 in Game 2. Sarah Traxel had 2 hits in each game, and Lauren Lindahl earned the win against Northland. The Pointers' next game will be against Hamline University in Minnesota on February 29th. That's all the sports we have for you this week. Up next is McKenna Rentmeester with SPTV Entertainment. Thanks for kicking it with me. I'm Michael Wengen with SPTV Sports.
UW Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
SPTV strives to represent the student body and Stevens Point community.
We are a professional student-run organization that provides hands-on experience for students to create the best possible content.
SPTV encourages creativity and is open to all students. Stop by our office for more information.
Tobacco use is the largest preventable cause of death
and disease in the United States.
Cigarette smoke kills more than
480,000 Americans
each year.
41,000 of these deaths
are from exposure
to secondhand smoke.
Smoking harms nearly
every organ in the body.
Every day,
more than
3,800 kids
under the age of 18
smoke their first cigarette. More than 16 million Americans
live with a smoking-related disease.
On average,
smokers die 10 years younger
than non-smokers.
Smoking causes
cancer,
heart disease,
strokes, lung diseases,
diabetes,
and chronic bronchitis.
Welcome back, Pointers. UWSP's Department of Theater and Dance is only 1 week away from opening Jane Austen's play, Sense and Sensibility. This classic play opens next Friday night with a preview the night before. Students have been in rehearsal since early January and worked under guest director Erin Nicole Eggers. The preview is free to students, but there are only 40 seats available, so keep an eye on the student announcements for more information. To buy tickets ahead of time, visit the Ticket and Information Desk. The UWSP Music Department has had a busy week full of rehearsal, recitals, and repertoires. If you missed the concerts this week, you still have a chance to catch a few this weekend. George Saris reports.
The UWSP Jazz Band had their annual repertory this weekend, but the show isn't over yet. Multiple students from UWSP will be performing in recitals, as well as with the Central Wisconsin Symphony Orchestra. I was able to speak to percussionist Lucas Fisher before his recital on Thursday evening. So, how long have you been playing the drums?
I've been playing since probably 7 years old.
Yeah.
I started on piano when I was 3.
Okay.
And
what got you into the drum set specifically?
Just fell in love with it. I love playing grooves, and it just felt right for me.
So what are you thinking about going into this recital tonight?
I'm a little nervous, but more excited. We're just ready to play music and have fun.
Is this going to be a solo act, or is it going to be accompanied by anybody else?
It'll be a full group, so it's a joint recital with me and a guy named Duncan Kofel, who's another music major here at Point. And then the rhythm section will be my dad and brother on bass and piano, as well as some of our friends from the department.
Besides playing with the UWSP Jazz Band, Lucas also performs with his band Substyle, who just released their first EP titled Letters. Do you guys have any shows coming up soon that we can see?
Yeah, actually our next one in Point will be on April 4th at Main Street Taps downtown. We'll be opening for Soul Symmetry.
Besides Mr. Fisher and Mr. Kofel, a few other students will be taking the stage this weekend with the Central Wisconsin Symphony Orchestra. Those shows will be held on both Saturday and Sunday at 7:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. respectively at the Century Theater at 1800 North Point Drive.
Tickets for the CWSO concerts this weekend will cost $12 for students and $32 for adults. They can be purchased in advance on the CWSO website. Yet, in honor of Black History Month, the Black Student Union is hosting a soul food dinner. The dinner will focus on serving food that honors African American history. The event will take place in the Lair Room this Sunday, February 23rd, with doors opening at 5:30 and the program beginning at 6. It costs $12 for students, $15 for non-student reservations, and $18 for the day of the event. Tickets are available on the Eventbrite, and for more information can be found by contacting the Black Student Union. And that's all the entertainment stories we have for you this week. Coming up next is my Pointer pal Nathan Wagner with Pointer Politics. I'm McKenna Retmeister with SPTV Entertainment.
The Media Studies is a program for people who love to tell stories, whether that be in written form, visual, or audio.
Media Studies is exciting because it's always fresh, it's always new.
Media is at the center of everything we do. More and more people are asked to engage with media and use media. Our program really provides students with skills and techniques to be better prepared for that in the future.
We offer courses in media production, both video and audio, nonfiction and fiction, music production, journalism, film studies.
Media Studies is a great way to get hands-on experience in the field that you're looking to do. They teach you the basic concept behind everything, and then they tell you to go do it.
We really pride ourselves on thinking of a wide set of opportunities that we can give our students.
The student organizations are a great asset. We have SPTV, the student television organization, 90 FM, the radio, and the Pointer, our student-run newspaper.
It's a great way for students to get involved, learn skills that they need for class, and meet new people.
Some great facilities where our students can hone their skills.
There's a giant studio in the center of the comm building. I've had quite a few classes in there.
A lot of our classes are very hands-on, they're very interpersonal.
You're getting the skills that will allow you to create your future, and I think that's what makes it a truly amazing experience for students.
There's an incredible range of options for graduates. We've had students go out and become independent contractors, work for radio stations, newspapers, with TV stations.
Everyone is different and they have their own unique style. In all the classes and all the student organizations you get involved in, you have a lot of flexibility to really create your own work and do it in a way that means something to you.
We're excited to see what students are making and what they want to make, and how we can help students get from where they are to where they want to be.
I'm in a video production class that's teaching me how to film documentaries. I'm also in a screenwriting class and I get to learn how to write movies. So I'm doing all these different cool things and I love it every day.
It's a very welcoming place. Even if you don't know what support you need, just coming down, we can look at individual schedules and talk about all the different options that are available.
believe that the TLC can definitely help students even for the slightest little bit. The writing lab, especially because you're going to have to write papers for any of the classes, they're able to proofread those and give you feedback on those.
The writing lab has been around since 1973, and it's the second oldest writing lab in the United States, which is kind of cool.
I was surprised by everything that I learned about TLC because I didn't realize there were so many resources for students.
To see more students down here. I mean, it's great that we have 35% of the student population utilizing us, but that means that we have 65% that didn't utilize us, and I know we have support services that could benefit just about everybody.
It means to me that I'm able to add another link between the TLC and the students. I know that as a big organization, it's kind of hard to get word out to the students, especially because they're not going out and meeting with the students or being part of their classes or anything like that. So having that extra link probably helps them out a lot.
And when you come down, there's free coffee, tea, and hot cocoa, so make themselves at home and learn a little bit about how they can be supported.
Welcome back, Pointers. Looking at some state news, U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin, Gary Peters of Michigan, and Debbie Stabenow of Michigan reaffirmed their support for the Great Lakes icebreaker. These three led a bipartisan effort to urge the administration to include cost for the Coast Guard to get a new icebreaker for the Great Lakes. This comes after Trump administration released their 2021 proposed budget, which did not include funding for the icebreaker. The Coast Guard is required by law to maintain a heavy icebreaking capability on the Great Lakes to keep the region's ports and harbors open and free and flowing of economic commerce. This plan was last approved funding in 2015, but Trump and his team have not requested any funding at the moment. Moving on to some national news now, Attorney General Bill Barr has allegedly intervened within reducing Roger Stone's sentencing recommendation. Now over 2,000 former federal prosecutors and Department of Justice officials are calling him to resign. Caitlin Collins has more on the story.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Attorney General Bill Barr is now facing more scrutiny after a week that strained his relationship with the Justice Department rank and file and an interview that threatened to upend his standing with the president.
I know people who are trying to bully Bill Barr out of his job.
More than 2,000 former federal prosecutors and Justice Department officials are calling on him to resign after he intervened to reduce Roger Stone's sentencing recommendation. Officials from both Republican and Democratic administrations have signed an open letter calling Barr's actions unheard of and outrageous, including the Deputy Attorney General from George H.W. Bush's White House. Stone is a close confidant of Trump's and is set to be sentenced this week after he was convicted on 7 counts, including lying to Congress and witness tampering. Barr denied talking about the case with the president.
I have not discussed the Roger Stone case at the White House.
But comments like this from Trump have done little to combat allegations of political influence.
Roger Stone was treated horribly. I want to thank the Justice Department.
Trump is spending President's Day behind closed doors after a weekend in Florida where he headlined the priciest fundraiser of his presidency at the home of billionaire Nelson Peltz and acted as Grand Marshal at the Daytona 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
His campaign manager was forced to delete a tweet after he posted a photo of Air Force One flying over the racetrack from when President George W. Bush visited in 2004. Brad Parscale later tweeted a photo of Trump's Air Force One arrival in Daytona. Trump ended the weekend in Washington attending the wedding of his senior advisor Stephen Miller and Vice President Pence's press secretary Katie Waldman at his hotel in Washington.
Trump believes Barr was treated horribly. No decision has been made on Barr's future. The Nevada caucus is being held later this week. The Democratic candidates are zeroing in on each other for votes. CNN's Jeff Delaney has the report.
With your help, we're going to win here in Nevada.
The fight is on for Nevada.
It is so wonderful to be out of the snow and in this beautiful sunny state of
the first 2020 Democratic contest in the West.
I know that people in Nevada are taking your responsibility, your influence, your power, that thumb on the scale that you have, so seriously.
5 days before the state's caucuses, early voting is already underway, in the most diverse test yet for the Democratic field. Front and center is a familiar debate over health care, but with a new twist. The state's powerful Culinary Workers Union strongly opposes Medicare for all, saying abolishing private insurance would take away their hard-fought health insurance plans. It's one of the biggest challenges facing Bernie Sanders, whose support for Medicare for all is at the heart of his candidacy. His rivals are trying to capitalize on the divide, hoping to slow his surge.
No one should be able to tell them they can no longer have that plan. And I'll be damned if we're going to erase the union's efforts.
Joe Biden is trying to revive his campaign in Nevada after lackluster showings in Iowa and New Hampshire. The former vice president said he was counting on the diverse electorate of African American and Latino voters in Nevada and beyond to weigh in.
I think that we're just getting there, and we've had less than 2% of the vote taken so far. And now we're here in Nevada, and it's going to be up to you to decide how many of us move on.
Naomi Lovato has been uncertain about Biden's strength, but after seeing him today, she believes he still has what it takes to win.
Before, you know, he was a little bit kind of didn't come across with that fire in the gut, but this time he really did. He can do it. I truly believe that in my heart. I really do.
One candidate not competing here is still hanging over the race, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg. His Democratic rivals are piling on the self-funded billionaire.
Mr. Bloomberg, like anybody else, has a right to run for president. He does not have a right to buy the presidency.
Early voter turnout for these caucuses have increased. No candidate is being taken down in these tight races at the polls. And that's all the political news we have for you this week. Now back to Alex and George. I'm Nathan Wagner, and this has been SPTV Politics.
Thank you, Nathan. That's all we have for you tonight.
For George, I'm Alex. Until next time, Stevens Point, with love and happiness, good night.
Stay warm.